Hello caregivers, and thanks for joining me for this month's installment of our Learning Literacy series. This month, we'll be focusing on vocabulary, how to build it, and some of our goals we might set for our child. So what am I talking about when I refer to your child's vocabulary? Well, your child's vocabulary is their ability to recognize words and to know the meanings of different words, including objects, places, actions, feelings, concepts, and ideas. When I refer to building your child's vocabulary throughout this video, I'm referring to increasing the number of words your child knows and building their comprehension of those words. The two basic early literacy goals when working on building your child's vocabulary are for number one, your child to develop and expand knowledge of words and word meanings, and number two, your child to acquire and use new and increasingly abstract words in their speech. Now, I want to quickly clarify that there are two different types of vocabulary that early literacy specialists sometimes refer to, and these are expressive vocabulary and receptive vocabulary. The difference between the two is that expressive vocabulary refers to the words that children will use in their own speech, whereas receptive vocabulary refers to words that they recognize and understand when they hear them, but don't really use to express themselves in their own speech. So to remember that, you can think expressive, so they're expressing things, and receptive, we think of we receive something, so you can receive that word and understand it, but you might not necessarily use it to express yourself. Now, quickly, I want to give you a snapshot of what a typical young child's vocabulary development might look like. So it's important to recognize, of course, that every child is different, but I'm trying to give you a roadmap here. This isn't because I'm expecting you to write down and count the number of words your child knows, but because I think it's good just to have a general idea of how your child can build on their vocabulary over time and sort of what to expect and aim for. At 3 years old, children generally have an expressive vocabulary of about 450 words, and about 80% of what they say is intelligible. So there's still a little bit of weird grammar going on, but they are really starting to learn to express themselves. Now, at 4 years old, children's grammar will have greatly improved. They'll be full of questions about their world, and their expressive vocabulary should have more than doubled to around 1,000 words. At age 5, children generally use correct grammar when speaking, and they have an expressive vocabulary of about 2,200 words. However, if you think that's impressive, their receptive vocabulary may contain as much as an incredible 20,000 words. Wow. So then at age 6, once they've entered school, they are still learning and developing quickly and well, hopefully, and their expressive vocabulary will have grown to about 3,000 words. So this is great, but as you can see, this is the least dramatic growth between the years so far. So up until this point, it's like doubling each year, but now we've got about 800 words that you've added from the 2,200 words the year before. This just goes to show how early childhood development and working on those early literacy skills before your child enters school is so crucial. So you know how important your child's vocabulary is, but how do you go about building it? Well, the best way to build your child's vocabulary is to talk and read with them as much as possible. So that way you are constantly introducing and reinforcing new words to them. However, there are a few different tips, tricks, activities, and games you can use to build their vocabulary. So in our next video in this playlist, I will be sharing some reading strategies to help you specifically target your child's vocabulary, and I'll also teach you a few different vocabulary games and activities to keep building early literacy skills fresh and fun. Because remember, we want to teach kids not just these great skills, but to love learning. So stay with us and check out our next video to learn that. And if you haven't already, make sure you pick up a Go Pack at the Northeast branch of the Reading Public Library. It'll have all this information written down for you in a nice packet and have some materials to help you do these next activities we're going to learn with your child. So stay tuned.